The main event at UFC 299 will be between Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera in their rematch. Of course, in the first fight, I believe Sean O'Malley went out due to like a perennial nerve kick, so it was kind of an iffy finish. Obviously, that's what the guys go for when they try to calf kick, so you can't really call it a fluky finish. However, Sean O'Malley was doing pretty decent before then, and then his leg just completely shut down. So there's nothing you can really take too much from the Chito Vera performance before then. Ever since then, he's kind of adopted the style of, I'm going to be super calculated, wait for that big shot, and kind of just get that flashy KO finish. And it kind of works at his detriment and then works to success at some points. However, in this fight, it is like completely, I want to say completely different fighters, but Sean O'Malley has definitely evolved a little bit. Chito Vera has evolved a little bit as well. So this one's going to be definitely a very interesting matchup, especially for Sean O'Malley. Chito Vera is not really a guy that's going to get finished. Like, he's a very durable guy, very good chin. So he's going to have to survive this onslaught from Chito Vera for 5 rounds. And it's going to be a very big event as well. It is in the big cage, which is something to note as well. Chito Vera fights at the apex quite a bit in the smaller cage. So it does kind of benefit him there because of his KO, flashy KO style. Sean O'Malley in a bigger cage allows him to get more distance and kind of move around a little bit more. So the bigger cage will definitely benefit Sean O'Malley in this fight. However, in his last fight, he actually put on a pretty perfect performance against Aljamain Sterling, defended the takedowns, even like tripped, I think, in like the second round or whatever, and Sterling couldn't get the takedown there. So Sean O'Malley looked really good in that performance. A lot of people were on Sterling about not shooting a takedown early on in that fight, but if you notice, a lot of wrestlers, they wait till the end of the round to shoot for a takedown if they feel comfortable enough on the feet, or at least they want to see what it looks like on the feet a little bit. So even Aljamain Sterling said it in like his streams leading up to it, so I don't know why people were confused about that, but obviously, maybe against a guy like Sean O'Malley, you should probably be shooting a little bit more since that's your pathway of winning. I don't think Aljamain was going to KO Sean O'Malley or anything like that. So there is some criticism there that could be thrown at Aljamain Sterling. But again, Sean O'Malley's distance, very elite speed and timing, just absolute perfect finish. He fought the Terminator in Petr Yan at that point, who wasn't on like a 5-fight losing streak at that point. So Sean O'Malley had a pretty decent performance against, I won't say decent, it was a good performance. You could argue that it could go to Sean O'Malley's way. I don't think it was that big of a robbery like what some people were saying, but put on a pretty good performance. That's what kind of opened my eyes up to how good Sean O'Malley is at this point. And I realize that he's a pretty elite striker, and he's kind of there at that. That's what I got from that Petr Yan performance. Regardless of what you think of the decision, I thought it was a pretty good performance from O'Malley. I was actually very impressed by it. But Chito in his last fight, iffy, or I guess it doesn't go from right, huh? His last fight against Pedro Munoz, it was a rough decision. Like, it was a very slow fight. It's hard to really finish a guy like Pedro Munoz, and he didn't really give him the opportunity to do that there. So, and Pedro's a lot smaller of a guy. I always thought that like maybe the bigger guys, the taller guys would probably give Chito Vera the problems. A lot of those guys, well, I guess I can get into the Sandhagen fight. A lot of the guys early on against Chito Vera, they tend to like wrestle him and grapple him because Chito Vera early on in his fights tends to just not have takedown defense. And then for some reason, as the fight goes on, he develops like really good takedown defense. So if Sean O'Malley wants to wrestle early on here, just kind of see where it's at. I know it is a 5-round fight, and you kind of just want to know what Sean O'Malley's cardio is for 5 rounds because he is such a speed, I won't necessarily say explosive because he doesn't have crazy power in his hands. However, he has the ability to shut someone's lights out. I kind of want to see what he looks like in 5 rounds. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable wrestling and kind of using that cardio a little bit more in the early rounds where he could potentially get finished if he's super tired in the later rounds. So maybe he won't wrestle Chito Vera in this fight. But again, I think he has the opportunity to. I think he probably has a lot better wrestling than Chito in this fight. And a lot of guys, especially Sandhagen, with the footwork, I'll get into the footwork a little bit later as well, has the opportunity to take him down, kind of just steal those first couple rounds there and just make it a lot easier for yourself on the feet. I think he can do that in this fight. Corey Sandhagen, what I noticed from just predicting that Corey Sandhagen fight, because he absolutely destroyed Chito Vera. I'm surprised he's actually getting, well, actually, I'm not surprised he's getting this title shot. You know they're angling for this matchup, whether Sean O'Malley lost to Aljamain or won. So it was going to happen either way. However, what got me picking Corey Sandhagen was the footwork from Dominick Cruz, because Dominick Cruz put on a really good performance against Chito Vera. Although he did get like flash knockdown like early on in the rounds, but then got brutally KO'd. He put on a very good performance against Chito Vera, and Chito Vera could not do anything with the footwork of Dominick Cruz. And a lot of people talk crap about it, but it is really good footwork. You see guys like Sandhagen, even TJ Dillashaw way back when, developed his footwork because of Dominic Cruz. And you saw what Corey Sandhagen was able to do against Chito Vera, and it was just an absolute destruction. Chito Vera just couldn't catch Corey Sandhagen at all. And I think a guy like Sean O'Malley in the big cage is able to have, or at least have, really good distance. Like he does a really good job at staying long, fighting from distance. That's what Sean O'Malley does, and has really good timing, really good speed. The things that he uses to keep distance as well, keeps to the body, will go for body shots, will go for calf kicks as well. Chito Vera will probably be doing the same thing, because maybe he's hoping for another perennial nerve kick. That would actually be really unfortunate in this fight. But the things that Sean O'Malley does, like the feints that can keep these guys off guard, like I feel like that's really going to stun Chito Vera in this fight. And I think it is going to be a little bit of a slower fight. It's going to be like one of those Izzy performances. However, Izzy throws way too many feints and doesn't do anything with them. With Sean O'Malley, he's gonna throw these feints, but then actually like throw some of these kicks as well. So he's going to keep to the body, go to the body, try to take out the legs of Chito Vera, feint a lot. And I think that's going to hold Chito a little bit off guard till probably the end, like how he did against Corey Sandhagen, where he kind of just asked to do something. I think 49-46 decision for Sean O'Malley in this fight is probably the way to go here. I think it's going to be a little bit slower. I don't think it's going to be like an Izzy performance where it's going to be super boring, where he's kind of just like dancing around and just doing this thing and not really doing much. But you know, Sean O'Malley like feints the spinning back kick a lot, like really good feints, able to keep a really good distance. If Chito Vera tries to rush in, he has the timing to counter Chito Vera. Chito Vera is not going to get finished. I don't see that happening. If he does finish Chito Vera, that's actually going to be extremely impressive. But I think Sean O'Malley's going to go on a little bit of a run here. Hopefully I'm not jinxing myself. But if he doesn't get perennial nerve kicked, I think he wins this fight for sure. I think Chito Vera's style of like getting that big KO with like some of those high kicks or whatever, or like even like front kicks, I don't think he's going to get in the range of Sean O'Malley, or like inside the range of Sean O'Malley to be able to catch him in this fight. A bigger guy in Sandhagen was able to stay out of those big shots from Chito Vera. I think even Dominic Cruz, the footwork kind of got away from Chito Vera, so he couldn't necessarily catch him until like the very end, or at least he's like landing those little shots where at this point Dominic Cruz's chin is just not that good. So he's landing the little shots that was dropping Cruz, and then eventually finished him. O'Malley can stay out of range here, or at least stay in his range, which is out of range for Chito Vera off his back foot, and then just throw those teeps, throw those front kicks, throw those body kicks, just keep him out of the way, keep him away from getting close. And I think he can do that for about 5 rounds. If he wants to wrestle, he can do that early on as well. Kind of up to him. But I think 49-46 decision, barring maybe Chito Vera like winning one of the last rounds because Sean O'Malley slows down a little bit. I don't know. Well, I kind of want to see what Sean O'Malley looks like in all 5 rounds. I guess we'll kind of find that out here, unless Sean O'Malley absolutely finishes Vera. But Vera could finish Sean O'Malley too. He always has that chance in this fights, but I think Sean O'Malley's going to win this one. Very good at range. I think he's going to beat up Chito Vera pretty badly here. So I'm going Sean O'Malley 49-46 decision. Let me know what you guys have down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.